Fight fans, here we go. SparStar Promotions is proud to present the rerounds of mixed martial arts in the bantamweight division. This bout is sponsored in part by CPI. Introducing our referee in charge of this bout, Mike Beltran. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is wearing black trunks rimmed in red. He is training out of Saxon's Muay Thai in Van Nuys. He weighed 136 pounds. His record, 4 wins, 4 losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Luke the Skywalker Duran. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He is wearing black trunks trimmed in red and white. He is training out of Fight Science MMA and Jumbi by way of Oxnard. He weighed 134 pounds. His record, 4 wins, 2 losses, with 1 win coming by way of stoppage. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Ken Jann Fajardo! All right, fans, here we go. The rerounds of mixed martial arts in the bantamweight division.
Man, Ken looked really crisp right there. Shadow boxing tells you a lot. You can see, is he loose? Is he ready?
Both fighters who seem very loose and ready to go for that matter.
Yeah, I like to watch the opponent of my guy and tell you if he's coming out hot or if he's going to come out cold. So if he's coming out hot, you can't, there's no feeling out process. You got to be ready. Touching of the gloves, closed stance fight. Luke with the blue trim around the gloves. Ken with the red taper and red shorts, everyone.
Ken sporting a little bit of a higher guard there and much more quick pace, a little fidget in the motions.
Yeah, they both seem to be kind of like movement fighters where they're both trying to move in to get that angle. They're not pressuring too much. Oh, linear kick to the knee, guys. That's legal and amateur in the state of California. Every state has a different rule set, really, with their amateur mixed martial arts. Like some states you can elbow and knee the head and heel hooks. Oh, wow.
Oh, that was interesting. Stopped his kick short, just throw it again from the same side leg.
The control that it takes to be able to do that is exceptional.
And the head kicks are they look effortless too. They're not leaning too far back, not having to pivot too much on the bottom foot.
And they're both moving and then coming in, and then you see doubling up with the jab. I kind of like that. I think that's a very important thing to do, but you got to throw something behind it. Like, you close that distance. Don't waste the distance that you closed.
Absolutely. So far, looking like we're going to have a big stand-up matchup here. Not so much shooting for the ground or level changing.
You see Luke going to the overhand, trying to come over Ken's guard rather than
nice
straight.
Nice catch.
We might see the first takedown up. He's able to get his leg back. Sometimes you'll see them throw the leg when they catch it and kick, head kick, leg kick, whatever is exposed.
Now, I think after something like that, Ken should also maybe continue throwing those kicks a little bit high too. I don't think there should be a level of fear, even though he got his leg caught. It was working for him up until that point.
Yeah, and they were effective. At 135, this is a typical pace. You see these guys kind of really going fast. You got to be careful reaching for that kick because he could send it to the head like he just did.
Yes, now we're starting to see some of the feints playing after they had their minute to collect themselves and suss out their opponent.
If they have a lot of Muay Thai experience and kickboxing experience, they'll really fill out the opponent, and then when they see that hole, they're going to try to exploit it.
And it was immediate for him to try and exploit it now that we're mentioning that.
Wow. This is a very difficult round to judge. You see a little bit of the effects being shown, but every time Luke catches a kick like that and then throws something, that's effective to a judge.
Yes. Ken doing a good job letting off some shots whenever he does get that leg caught, though.
And Ken's being more of the aggressor because even though he's moving, he's still pressuring, controlling the center, which is the final criteria in scoring a round.
Absolutely.
Ring generalmanship or cage control.
Oh, Ken making the first shot for the takedown here.
And that is to help steal the round. You know, if I get the takedown, it's definitive that at least I won the grappling if you thought everything was close.
Right. Absolutely.
And there was aggression. Right now, if I'm a judge, it's hard because I'm looking at some effective things out of Luke, that he was able to cast a kick and land some good shots, but Ken's pushing the pace coming forward. And I mean, the first criteria is effective striking or grappling. And then after that, you'd have the aggression, who's coming forward, and if they're both doing it, well, who controlled the center of the octagon, or who had their back against the fence or on the ground. And those are all like the 3 standards.
Absolutely. We saw there towards the end, Ken would start faking that lead left leg, and his opponent would drop his hand almost to catch it. I'd like to see if that comes into play here again in the second round.
Both fighters remain standing, it appears.
Yes, neither one of them took a seat.
I love that, and that's a Muay Thai trick too, because you don't want your legs to get dead.
Here we go now for round 2. Cage is closed and locked.
So important. I've seen people fly out the door.
Makes a very interesting fight at that point.
Okay, both fighters rush to the center. Back to a glove touch. Close stance fight still moving.
It appears to be Ken who's leading the dance this time.
Yeah, I don't know. Luke is kind of a little bit more aggressive with those strikes. This is a different Luke than we saw in the first round.
Yes, almost immediately making me eat my words there.
He even threw the cross behind that double jab.
Yeah, we are seeing it kind of be put together a little bit better now.
And I wonder what the corners told both of these guys. You could see them both giving instruction. We're not seeing a lot of feints either out of them. That was a switch kick or like a jumping almost like crane kick.
Right, we refer to it affectionately as the hop-in front kick. And it's really good if you began with some teeps or some front kicks just to sort of set it up before you even go into that motion.
You got to be careful if you're Ken leading with kicks without setting him up with your hands, because it looks like Luke said, okay, if he kicks, I'm going to throw my punch. This is a much different round than we saw in round 1 so
Very
far.
Much so. Yeah, it seems a little more both of them pushing back and forth now, trying to take center control of the octagon.
Well, I mean, there's a possibility Luke feels that giving up that shot or that entry from Ken might have been enough for him to win that round. So now he has a sense of urgency.
Right. We can see these very elongated punches there from Luke. He kind of tucks his chin down and throws very long, straight punches.
I'd like to see some dirty boxing, like grabbing the hand, pulling it down, and punching.
That would do real good here, absolutely.
Wow.
Good combination by Luke there.
When your opponent is tight, you want to come to the outside. When your opponent's wide, you want to come straight. And he recognized that. He was throwing straights and then came loopy from the guard.
Ken doing a good job as well when his opponent steps in. Just little short jabs, little short crosses.
He's not intimidated, that's for sure.
Again, going for that takedown.
Now, you can count that as aggression, but you can't count it as effective grappling if he's not getting the takedown. And now, once again, you can see Luke start to land some strikes from this position. You don't want to just defend. You want to defend it. You want to control the position that you can get effective strikes, submissions, things off. So it's like control plus position equals S. Strike, submission, sweep.
Luke doing a good job there defending those attempted takedowns as well.
There's 30 seconds left. This round has not disappointed.
No, not at all. It's going to be a very, I would imagine, a rather difficult one to score up here.
Well, what I'm going to assume is round 1 went to Ken, and so far, round 2 was going to Luke, but that effective overhand could have really affected the judges.
Yes, now he's landed a left hand on top of it.
Oh, and that might have got it back for him with that left hook. Wow. So for sure it's 1-1 in my eyes as a coach. If I'm like coaching them, I'm like, you cannot assume that you're up 2. And the fighter will assume they're up 2 because they're tired.
Just wanting to make it easier on their minds at that point.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh, I'm up 2 and I'm going to cruise. That is like one of the biggest mistakes you can ever make. That's my buddy Chris Coley. He's given Kim some stern advice, letting him know he's not over talking, but he's letting him know, hey, you've got to win this.
Very good on the coaches there. And now we see the fighters, I beg more, just one. Ken is actually taking a seat this time. His opponent Luke is still standing through this next break.
But he's taking instruction well. I like it. I like it when the fighter kind of turns his back to the opponent so he can just concentrate on what the corner is saying.
It's a very good tactic, not getting distracted by looking at what your other guy's doing.
I wonder if we're going to see Ken shoot again. Luke staying active, moving around, the intensity, bring in the intensity.
Making sure that his not getting cold out there. Here we go for round 3, final round of this matchup.
This round could define who wins this fight. I love how Ken ran out to touch gloves, but also took a bunch of space up, right?
Yes.
You can't back up with your hands up because we don't have big gloves, so some of these punches can get in.
And I think we see that too through their guards. Those hands are starting to slip through.
The response to a counter, so if you do same side or same time response, tends to mean that they're more effective than waiting for the punch to come in.
Good left hand by Luke, lands down, pushing his opponent back a little bit.
Ken's got to be careful leading with the kicks. His kicks are dangerous, but I think Luke's strategy is if the kick comes, throw a punch with your guard up. Nice. He takes
Ken
some
walking
good steps.
him back a little bit.
Yeah, but I think what we'll see from Luke is like 4 down the middle again, trying to pressure. We'll see, though. Fatigue makes cowards of all men was something that was in my very first gym's wall. And as we get tired, conditioning comes into a big factor.
Very much so. Now a couple being tired, getting cracked in the face over and over again, that could really weigh down on somebody. But both these guys, regardless, seem to be pushing each other back and forth.
Yeah, and they are.
Left hand by Ken.
And they are. Luke is definitely coming forward when he can. Ken's just doing a great job of controlling the distance.
That as well as the mixing up of different strikes. Occasionally that left head kick comes in, then the right hand, then the left. And it's not a rinse and repeat. He's not forming a lot of patterns here.
No. And he's throwing the strikes everywhere.
And every strike weighs down on the body. Even if it gets blocked, it still hurts. It's still going to add up in the end.
Man, this has been a great round.
Yeah, it has. And we see Luke now was kind of pushing there again.
Yeah. Ken, however, is definitely coming forward. And sometimes if it's a close round, that will be enough to sway the judge. Because it is aggressive. Like you're pushing the pace of the action. Oh.
Absolutely. Again, look at those straight punches, and they're landing. They're still hitting their mark.
Yeah, jeez.
Good push kick there, keeping the space. Oh, it's Luke for the takedown attempt.
This is the first time we've seen Luke shoot.
And it's successful.
Wow. Now, I love how Ken got up right away, and so technically they'll tell you that doesn't really count as a full takedown.
Right.
But if a round is close, I mean, that
may be what you need.
We'll incorporate that in there.
Yeah. That's very difficult to say. And Ken's trying to get it back.
Ken definitely felt it, and he got it back.
And now this is the last thing the judges see.
Legit takedown.
Yep, and he's shooting the triangle. Oh, wow.
Not quite going to have it there before the end of the fight.
This was a great fight.
Absolutely, and you can see it between them how much they enjoyed that match, or how much energy they shared there in the octagon tonight.
No, they're both great opponents. They're both not an easy fight for anyone to fight. Like,
no,
at
not
all. You can't look at somebody like that and be like, oh yeah, I want to. I mean, if you're game, yeah, like I want to fight that guy. But like if you're like picking and choosing, that's not an easy fight.
No, that is definitely not an easy fight either way to pick for.
I would bet you that both of those guys have people turn down fights with them. Like for sure.
Well, that's the case. I'm glad they found each other here tonight and put on such a wonderful performance for the audience and those at home.
We're the lucky ones. When you get two people like that are going to fight, like for sure, it sucks. Especially you'll see like people aren't going to want to fight you,
right.
And then it's like, well, man, I want to get in there, and it's difficult because some people are in it for the wrong reasons.
Right.
You know, and they're not martial artists.
Right. They just want to brawl, and it's, you know,
And,
not the same morals and philosophy behind it, right?
Right.
like I said, a true martial artist just looks to improve himself, win or lose, you know. It's all a learning experience.
And we can see those other guys kind of get weeded out as the process goes on because they don't typically last through rounds and fights like that where it's going the distance, you're both taking a ton of damage.
Well, it's difficult to remain in the game taking a bunch of damage.
Absolutely.
So what you see here, guys, is they're taking the gloves off and the wraps off. That often happens in boxing, and it's something that's started to be implemented in MMA. So it's kind of cool to get the gloves off and the wraps. Sometimes you get stuck in the back and no one has scissors, and you got these wraps on you for like another 25 minutes.
It could be bad.
After a fight like this, they're soaked.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to sit there and just get your hands all lumpy or mushy.
You make knuckle guards with them. You know, you can make really good knuckle guards. You just cut them. That, especially if you hit hard. Whenever I'm a corner, I hate like when it takes a long time to get the decision. I think that I'm like, oh man, it's never a good sign. But both of these guys, it's very difficult to say who won this fight, and either way, if it were to land, you'd have to agree because it's the judges what they saw effectively.
Hard one to judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to our scorecards. We have our decision. All 3 judges' cage side scored the bout 29-28 in favor of our winner by unanimous decision, the blue corner, Luke the Skywalker Duran.
Congratulations to Luke Duran.
Man, that was a great fight. Both of those guys put everything out there. And it looks like we're going to get an interview right now, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, Luke. Luke, it was a very close fight, but it was intense. You did a great job. You were able to pursue through it. I got to ask, what was the game plan coming into this fight, sir?
Oh man, the game plan was just stay tactical, stay calm, cool, collected, pick my shots as best as I can, and just show up and win.
I noticed he had such a great ability to hit leg strikes from a number of different angles. What were you able to do to offset that, sir?
Oh man, you know what? I gotta adjust on the fly. I mean, I consider myself a complete mix. I consider myself a complete mixed martial artist. So I like to think of shit on the fly and make my adjustments.
You made some great adjustments. Nice takedown as well. It looked very fun for the rest of us, but I know it was intense in there. Can you give any shout outs to your team? Who helped you secure this win here today, sir?
Oh man, I'm so glad you asked me this question. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone at Saxon's Muay Thai. I am the culmination. Listen to me right now. I'm the culmination of all the best fighters out of Saxon's Muay Thai. I take a little bit of everybody, and everyone is inside of me. So I am the culmination of my team.
That's what's up. And you know what? What a great team it is. Congratulations to you, young man. We look forward to seeing you back here in the near future.
Thank you. I just wanted to say shout out to Size. Shout out to Los Angeles Pizzeria for being my sponsorships. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in a few.
All right, everybody, one more time for Luke Duran.
Great job again by Luke Duran.
Man, that was a fight that could have went either way. And that's the thing. You get 3 judges, and so they all have different angles. That's kind of why I don't like it when the judges have a monitor, because I would assume that, you know, the whole part of the process is 3 different opinions